So there's the real show, and then there's this thing we call After the Show. So here we go with another Murphy, Sam, and Jody After the Show podcast. Not that it's fake. It's just not on the air on the regular radio show.
It's not the real show.
It's extra.
Yeah, it's extra.
We hang around longer, and we can go as long as we want. All
extra
that good
means
stuff.
something different these days.
Well, it's still the same, though. It's an extra.
Yeah.
It's not too much. Anyway, guys, Murphy, we were telling everybody today about Phoebe getting a little job. She's watering the plants of our neighbor who lives 2 houses down. Mm-hmm. Her name is Mimi, and she went to the beach with her family for a few days. So Phoebe is watering her plants, her outside plants.
She got any cool exotic stuff? Or
she has a ton of cool stuff. This is why I bring this up. She's got all kinds. She can grow anything. She's one of these women that can grow anything. And she was showing us all this. This is, you can't find this anywhere. Some lady who used to do, landscape architecture gave me that, and it's cool. And I want to get some sun on my orchids today, but don't worry about them.
She's got dendrobiums?
She's got
Excuse me?
Sam.
Yeah, but
whoops. I let a little slip there.
There's a cream that helps with that.
Okay, so enter as soon as she started showing us all of this and everything that she's growing well.
Yeah.
And, I'm impressed. These are plants and species that I just don't recognize either. I mean, I know that some are tropical and some are not. That's pretty much to me the extent of the difference.
There's two classifications for you.
But I can. If it's palmy, it kind of looks like it should be, close to a beach, then it's tropical to me.
So when she gets back from the beach and we go down to visit her and she's going to pay Phoebe a little, fee for doing the work, I know she'll say yes because she's a sweet, sweet lady. And if she doesn't say yes, that's fine because I can watch videos. I've got other friends who can help me. But I've only ever really done house plants. I mean, I repotted some stuff the other night, and I do okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm not great. The thumb's not green, but I want it to be. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's something I've dabbled in.
Well, didn't you buy a kit that the instructions said it's impossible to screw it? It was foolproof is what it said.
No.
That herb garden is foolproof.
I was going to bring that up, too. Okay, I bought Phoebe an herb garden the other day. Okay, a windowsill herb garden.
Right.
She's always wanted to do this, grow herbs, and I thought this would be cool for her to do.
Fun, and you can use it.
Well, guess what 4 herbs are in it,
what?
Sam?
Cilantro.
Oregano, parsley, chives, and cilantro.
Yeah,
and so Phoebe begged her dad, can I please plant these? And what was your answer?
Well, I was hesitant at first. Actually, Jody's answer was the one that cracked me up. It's like, we really don't need to plant those. It's $1 a sprig.
No, it's a bunch. It's $1 a bunch.
A bunch, yeah.
Well, she's like, this is the only thing I'd like to grow for the bearded dragon.
And so but Phoebe's interested in growing it for the bearded dragon. So you know me, the daddy in me's like, okay, that's fine. The only caveat is if for some reason, if I can smell this thing or whatever, then it's gonna have to go outside. But I even suggested, why don't we plant it outside?
We're doing it on the windowsill first.
I know you could put one of your new sachets by it.
Right.
But, put it in the far corner of the yard.
We will grow it in the windowsill
like
first.
The neighbors, you mean?
And once it starts, if it does well and sprouts, we will move it outside. I want all of them outside anyway in containers.
I know nothing about growing herbs at all, but cilantro, when you look at it in the store, seems to me like it pretty much just grows like crazy.
Like a weed.
You can't kill cilantro, apparently.
Right.
Although cilantro can kill you or it can kill me.
Anyway, we planted that already. We're waiting for sprigs. Like it's not in direct sunlight right now, and we're waiting to see some growth.
How big is this thing?
It's little. It's a little tray with little containers, 4 different containers.
One for each.
Little herb garden starter thing. I bought that for her, and we'll see how it goes.
You know, Jody's first complaint was about it?
What?
I can't believe this. I've got to poke holes in the bottom of these.
It says
because it doesn't drain.
It's like you have to have. Give me one that has a little hole in it already. I didn't want to poke.
That goes back to your $1 a bunch. It's not even worth it.
Right. I'm doing a knife and poking my own hole. Anyway, I bring it all back up because we have this beautiful planter in the new house that we moved into at the deck in the patio area. It's this big wooden, long, rectangular planter.
Perfect for herbs. Perfect
for just the flowers.
And now, I should tell you, it's not in the greatest shape. It looks like a shipwreck. Time has taken its toll on this thing, but it should be perfect for raising herbs.
I'm not going to put herbs in it.
I mean, or whatever.
I am going to clean it out, make sure it's got drainage holes. If not, I need to look at what kind of wood it is because maybe it's porous. But I have never, since I was a little girl, what? Porous is a word.
I know it is. Just drill some holes. You drill some holes, you put some rocks or pebbles over it so the mud doesn't leak out, and you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I can do that. And I have a drill bit big enough for that, too.
I know.
Just so that you know. So whatever
Good
you
for
need, Jodi.
Good for you. Okay, Murphy. Anyway, I'm going to ask our neighbor, Mimi, who can grow anything, to advise me on what I should put in here, because I don't want to just go pick out what I think would look nice, because this is a direct sunlight thing. You know, I need to know what will work well together, what I can have the most success with, you know, because Phoebe wants to do this with me too. And I don't want to be and I'm going to be honest with her. I haven't planted flowers since I was a little girl with my dad. And all I did was go out and do what he told me to do, you know, because you have to think about what goes well together, what needs direct sunlight, spacing. You have to think about spacing. Right. You want something, you don't want
Do you want
the same
perennials
height.
or annuals?
I want both.
Yeah.
I want to put both in there. I want the things that drape over and the things that go, they call them thrillers, fillers, and spillers. Remember? Have you never heard that?
No.
I've
Where'd
heard
you hear
it.
that at?
A video I watched about planting flowers.
Fillers, and spillers?
A thriller would be something that if you're going to plant something together in a big pot and you want it to be really, it fills up every part. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
You want a thriller, which is something that goes up high. A filler, which fills in spaces so you don't see dirt. And then a spiller that spills out.
Oh.
I didn't know any of that.
It's
You know, when you're talking about, you know, biennials and annuals and all that stuff, do they have like
Biennials.
Perennials.
Oh, perennials.
There is no such thing as a biennial plant. Is
I didn't
there?
know. Well,
I don't think so.
There could be. I mean, aren't there some that like bloom every 10 years or something? I've heard something about that.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
something.
know, Murphy.
There's
Yeah,
something.
there are
that-
rare plants that, you know, some things that bloom at night only for one day, and
and
some
some
things
bloom
that,
once a decade.
Yeah.
It's like you
Okay.
got to be sitting there, you know, or you miss it.
Like in that Dennis the Menace movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, my whole point is I think that she would be a good person to ask. And I really want to learn it.
Yeah, she'll tell you the exact kind of soil and everything.
I've always felt dumb when it comes to that stuff. It's one of those things that does not come naturally to me. So I'm lucky to keep my houseplants alive, and all my houseplants are doing fine, but they're okay. You know, and when I walk into a nursery, I don't know what I'm looking at or what to buy, and I want to.
And me too. When I was a kid, especially, and I don't remember of course, I don't remember the name of the plant. In horticulture class, which I did take a horticulture class.
Really?
Yeah, it was an elective.
Did you learn about biennials?
It was a 6-week, you know, class. You had this rotating elective thing, and Mr. Baser was my horticulture teacher.
I bet everybody called him Basil, right?
No, I didn't think about that. No, but
Because
you know,
he spiced things up.
yeah,
Okay.
he had two rules, and one is not to overwater your plants.
Sure.
And don't stick your hand in the fan that was, because they had those little greenhouse fans, and you'd be surprised.
What
Don't
was the
stick your hand in the
mentality of some of
fan.
But anyway, but there was this palm-looking kind of plant. We've all seen them before. Green leaves, and it kind of has that red little outline, or kind of a purplish kind of a hue outline.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a palm. Do you know what I'm talking about? That was the plant that he had us all raise, because apparently, if
Can't kill it.
if you take reasonable care of it, you can keep it alive.
It wasn't caladium bulbs, was it?
No, I know what those are. You see, when those go away, they come back.
Yeah.
Right?
had
They ought to call them boomerangs.
I had this plant.
Or perennials.
I had this plant once, then I kept hearing, don't overwater it, don't overwater it. And so I didn't overwater it. And every time I watered it, I only gave it a little bit.
Yeah.
And the poor thing was just pathetic. And I
Died.
brought it to a nursery, and the guy dumped it out and goes, this thing needs some water desperately. So it's like, why, how am I supposed to know that? Some of them need a lot, some of them need only a little. And yes, they come with a tag, but it's like, I follow that to the best of my ability. And at some point I'm like, how many more things do I need to take care of? But I really do want to learn enough for one planter box is what it is. It's a big pit. And it's sad to me that it's empty right now, Murphy. It's sad to me that it's just nothing but leaves in it. So I'm going to work
Well, I
it,
think
and hopefully Mimi will help
I
me.
think the only thing that's more sad than it being empty is when you kill everything that you're going to put in it. That'll be sad.
Oh, that's so sweet. And later when we're home, he'll be going, I was just picking about that.
Yeah, well, I am picking about that.
I know
just
you
don't,
are.
I don't really know.
You don't have to know.
I'm not good at that. I'm not
I'm
good
not
at that.
asking you to be. In fact, I don't want to do this with you, Murphy. I want to learn this. Look at me.
I'm trying to look up this palm thing. This says ponytail palm. That's not what it was.
Was it an indoor or outdoor plant?
It's an indoor plant.
There's a million. Until you see it again, you're not going to know what it is.
Kind of a heart-shaped leaf?
No.
It's spiky, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm looking at them online, and all I've found so far is it's just, this is a palm plant.
But it's
palm
not
plant.
a palm. It has a name. I'll
Yeah.
think of it. It's a pretty common name.
Anyway.
But
Where
this,
on
this
the
is why I don't need to be growing plants.
where on the difficulty scale in everything that you've talked about is growing food?
I have no
What
idea.
kind of food?
Like
Tomatoes?
Tomatoes.
Oh, those
you
aren't
know?
hard.
I've heard they're not hard, but
I would love that.
Yeah.
I know. And Mimi will help me with that because she's got tomatoes.
She has some nice tomatoes.
I know.
I would say. I mean, when I'm sitting there, like I couldn't take my eyes off of them, Sam. I couldn't believe they were so perfect.
Okay.
My deal is we sit outside on that patio all the time. I want the flower bed first with some flowers, and then we'll do tomatoes. But I want to do this myself. It's something I'm seeking out on my own. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And with Phoebe's help.
Yeah,
if
I'm not
she's
going to
interested.
mess with it. It's your project. I support you, and actually, I do hope it succeeds.
I know
you tell
you
me
do.
where you want the holes drilled, and you do all the planting and growing.
And he just waits for the tomatoes.
Fingers crossed because, I don't know how well I'll do.
See, I think growing tomatoes would be exciting.
That'd
I'm
be
sorry.
I bet food tastes so much better knowing that was coming from your backyard.
Oh, it
like, are you
does.
kidding?
Yeah.
It'd be amazing.
We'll
Look,
see.
When
Yeah.
you have 2 fresh grown tomatoes in your hand,
Yeah.
and you go to and
Okay.
some are so big they're bigger than the ones you ever see in the store.
Okay.
I'm so glad we're making jokes
my
of
point
my
is Jody's grandfather.
hopeful-
I don't know what he puts in the dirt, but his tomatoes are perfect. They are. They're perfect. I'm serious.
So the Madagascar,
Grandpa knows how to grow them.
the Madagascar dragon tree is what you're looking for.
Oh,
The
is it?
Dracaena marginata. I don't know how to say it. The
Oh, okay.
Latin term for it, but
It's
I think that's it.
It's a dragon plant.
It's a dragon
It
plant.
sounds like that may be it. Thank you, Bailey.
Sure.
so why did you need to know that so badly? You want one of those?
Well, I see them all the time. They had a whole row of them at Lowe's yesterday. I guess I should have looked at the label when we were
I
there.
love those.
to know.
Oh, I love those.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do now.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're beautiful.
They are
I don't know if
beautiful.
we're going to put it there because I don't know if it needs direct sunlight. So
Well,
we'll see.
I don't remember. I guess you can plant them outside. I like them inside, but yeah.
You had the class.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I don't remember. But back to what you're growing, Jody, and I do think it's cool, Sam, because Jody's not done this for a while. The one that you got inside that you're going to have in the window, which is the herb one, and then the thing outside. I hope that you're able to do both of them. I think Jody's at it. We talked about this the other day because you and I are both the same way. We're not very patient people, so you have to really be in the right mindset to cultivate plants.
I feel like I could be patient with this. It's different. It's quiet. There's something lovely
Well,
about
and
it.
you get to see a tomato grow from tiny up to full
Right.
size.
And it'll be a victory if I can do it.
It is.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
So we'll see.